4K, the 8K TVs are on their way. So they're already in, I think they're already in Korea. There was, what's the official name? Because I remember it was about a year ago, I had a program at a club meeting where Dave Shank was talking about the stuff. The next, and so the FCC is like, well, yeah, you guys can go ahead and do it. We won't take a stand on it as far as forcing any kind of standards. So depending on what happens, in a couple of years, who knows? There could be all sorts of craziness in the TV business. And I guess that was another one that, because Samsung and LG were jumping on that, so like they're already doing it in Korea. Anyway, let's see. Back to the stuff here, I guess. I didn't really hear any kind of staticky kind of noises. Maybe a little bit. Was no signal, like when you're handing it over. I did hear a little something there that, it wasn't like just dead. But nothing while anybody's talking. So, yeah, I've already made notes here, and we'll see what happens next month when we get to it. And before we just kind of stumble around, I'll send it back, and hopefully I'll figure out what I'm saying next time. This is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. And I've quit following all of the video industry stuff. It's irritating ever since they first started switching to ATSC. Something I've always said about digital compared to analog, the digital stuff is all incompatible. It's very difficult to make something digital compatible with something else digital without rewriting the software. And of course everything does software updates these days, so that's not much of an issue, but this is something we didn't have to deal with the analog equipment. It was very easy to make analog stuff compatible with other analog stuff. In fact, it was sort of difficult to make it incompatible. Now TV, on the other hand, is pretty complex, so that you could very easily make that incompatible, but the industry was very good at not doing that for a very long time. They always did make stuff compatible, which, when you look at the technology, is kind of surprising that color TV and black and white TV were as compatible as they were. Something that is sort of strange that I've been doing with the video toaster since I got it working again is converting HD videos to non-HD, which is exactly the opposite of what everybody else does. Not quite going digital to analog, but going digital to high quality, low resolution digital, or at least low resolution compared to the modern HD stuff. Now I know there's a 4K standard that's out there. That doesn't seem to be anything too revolutionary, and people are using it. And everybody I know is complaining about 4K. They say that everything looks fake. And they're already working on 8K and 16K. And I'm not sure what we gain from all of that. The data rate on everything just keeps drastically increasing, and there's no end to that. And nobody seems to be too concerned about that, and I think that's a serious concern. But maybe I'm the wacko. I don't know. Well, I got the YouTube stream up just in time here for the last portion of the net, I guess. And I guess I'll put the SD card and SIM card from that camera, phablet, phone thing in a box and lose it, and someday discover it and wonder what it is and throw it in the garbage, because I'm not going to monkey with success here. It seems to be working, and I guess I'll stash away those two cards, which are the size of a small thumbnail or fingernail, I guess. Speaking of which, those things, I had a very hard time pulling out the SD card. I had to use a tweezers, and even then it was extremely difficult, and I'm very lucky that the thing didn't go flying across the room. Bratwurst is here on the YouTube stream, and he's commenting. He says his Xbox and PC are connected to his 1978 Zenith System 3 color TV, and he likes analog. I'm in the process of doing something similar here. I've got some old black and white portable TVs, and something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I finally bought some of the hardware I need. I want to put a Raspberry Pi inside of one of them, so I can ditch the TV converter box on the outside and connect the TV directly to my network here, so I can watch the over-the-air digital TV without any extra hardware. The Raspberry Pi will be directly interfaced with the video circuitry, so there will no longer be an analog tuner in the TV, or at least it will be there but not connected. And the TV will have obviously work by remote control, and I'll be able to excuse me, watch all of the internet stuff on there, YouTube and everything else, as a side effect. And these new Raspberry Pis have Wi-Fi, and the TV stuff does mostly work over Wi-Fi as long as I'm only using one. So I'll even have the benefit of being able to use the TV portably like it's supposed to be. Take it outside and watch the Packers or something. But we're running short on time here, I guess. We do have time for the three of us, but let's see if we have any more check-ins. Excuse me. Anybody wants to check into the 2 a.m. net? Here's probably your last chance. Come now, please. Hearing none, we'll go to the top of the list, and guys, take your time. We're not short on time, but we are winding down here. So, Frank W9JCC, it's your turn again from KC9UDX.
Okay, thank you, Matt. And about 10 minutes ago or so, I looked up at the meter on the TS2000, and I noticed that I didn't have the bandwidth opened up. And I opened up the bandwidth, and boy, the audio signal is really popping out there real nice now. Sound even better than before. And yeah, I've got a few books here on the bookshelf having to do with TVs, repair TV theory, back all analog stuff, and pretty useless now. I could probably throw those in the trash because I don't have too many analog TVs. Although I still have a couple. We kept one in the patio that's it's got a glass tube on it. In fact, I was going to get rid of that one. I think I sent you some pictures of that one once, Matt. And we put one of the converters on there now to take the digital signal and convert it to analog. And so it's kind of a backup. And then we picked up a, well, I think it's probably about a 39-inch or so flat screen that we put on top of it during the summer months, and during the winter we bring it into the back bedroom. But we still have the first TV that we ever owned. It's from approximately 1951. It's an OGE, and it did work the last time I tried it, probably 3-4 years ago. It took a while for it to warm up, and still give a picture, but now in order to use, to check it out, I'd have to, if I wanted to see a picture, I'd have to put one of those converters on it. But it's still there. Back when I was in high school, I put a new flyback transformer in it, and ever since it's been pretty good. The only trouble with those was that the tube for the flyback ran awfully hot, and they didn't last real long. So that was kind of a bug toes, but other than that, they worked pretty decent. Okay, I don't have too much more. Thanks for the info on the video toaster. I guess it's a box with electronics in it, as near as I can tell. And I have no idea what's in it. But anyway, I'll pass along my 73s and turn it back to net. KC9UDX, W9JCC.
All right, thank you, Frank. And I can give a little bit, I don't want to get too detailed here, I'll go on forever, but a little bit better idea of what the video toaster is. It's an Amiga computer, and the video toaster is, you can't really compare this to anything modern, but the video toaster kind of integrates into the computer in a very intimate way, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, there's no modern equivalent to something like this. The video toaster converts the computer into a whole different thing, but I guess you'd have to be really familiar with Amigas to really understand that. But mine is an Amiga 2000, like the original toaster was designed for. So once you put that video toaster inside the box, it fits in there in a very I don't know what the right word is. It fits in a way that it was like designed for it. And sort of the Amiga 2000 was designed for the video toaster, even though nobody could have even possibly conceived of such a product when the computer was designed. But once it's in there, the computer becomes a whole different thing. And the functionality as an Amiga never goes away, but the video toaster is kind of a inseparable part of it. And maybe I will do a short video explaining my setup. I've made a couple of videos over the years here showing off the setup, but maybe I'll make something explaining how it works and how I use it, which is a subset of what you could do with it. And I guess that would be kind of interesting now, especially because I've got a Raspberry Pi as my primary video source, and I can show off how I did that and my plans for that. I actually plan to put the Raspberry Pi inside one of the boxes I use for the video toaster setup. I've got an old Taiwanese PCXT clone with the flip-top lid, which houses the hard drives that I hook up to the video toaster flyer, which again I could go on and on about that. But in that box, I'd like to put the Raspberry Pi and make a patch panel for all of my video and audio stuff there, so I'm not always unplugging and plugging things in. Or at least when I do, it'll make much more sense. And Bratwurst says, have you ever done the trick with a black and white camera where you put red, green, and blue color tints, transfer them all together, and make a color image? And I will say absolutely. And that relates to what I'm talking about here, because the way NewTek, the company that made the video toaster, the way they raised up enough cash to build the video toaster is they built a thing called, I don't know what it's called now, but I have it, and it's within about 8 feet of me here, but I can't it's on a shelf buried. But what this product does is it hooks up to a camera, and it's got an automatic color filter. And what it does is, over about a 5-minute process, it takes a really sharp color image with a black and white camera. I wish I could remember what that thing was called. But also, Frank, to give you an idea about the video toaster, if you remember Wayne's World, Dana Garvey, the guy that did Wayne's World, his brother was the guy that invented the video toaster, and the whole Wayne's World thing was invented or was made to mimic the guy's experiences in making that kind of stuff, I guess. Anyway, now I'm babbling to the point where we are running short on time, so Dave, WB9BWP, it's your turn from KC9UDX.
Okay. I'll just throw out a couple of quick stories. As far as your books there, Frank, I think it was just a couple of years ago that I had a book on VCR repair that I sold in Amfest for $1. So you never know. Before you throw them away, if you really feel like hauling them somewhere, you never know. Somebody might give you something for it. I've got a box that sits on the network here. It has two TV tuners in it, and so it allows any PC to turn into a TV. I don't use it that much anymore, but it's one of those that I got, and it's still sitting there, and I put it into use every once in a while. About a year ago, we got a new fancy TV for the main TV up in the family room. It's a Sony. It's got all the tricks on it and stuff, and I've got a couple of network attached storage boxes with a lot of audio and video files, as well as all my data stuff, backup data and things. And so I was trying to put the TV through its paces and play some of the video stuff that I had, and it didn't like some of the files. And the TV, it's really not a TV anymore. It's a computer with a really big display. It runs Android, and I actually went out and on the TV itself, did not go to a computer, I downloaded a VLC, which is a video player that runs like on everything, Windows, Android, I think there's Mac versions. I downloaded VLC and installed it in the TV, and that can play all the video files off of the network, no problem. So that's where we are today. The TV is not a TV anymore, or at least maybe after a certain price point. I can't say for sure that all of them are that way, but it's just a computer with a really big screen on it. And one last phone story. Also, it's about 2 years ago next month. Wife and I both upgraded our phones. Best Buy had a big sale. Got a reasonable price on the upgrades, plus got $600 total gift cards and things, which bought me a new camera. Anyway, early this year, January, February, I go somewhere. I got the phone jammed in. I was wearing in my jacket pocket. I get home, I go to take the phone out, and I'm having a hard time getting it out. And I thought, well, did it pop out of its case? I got one of those rubbery kind of wrapped around things. I finally get the thing out of my pocket, and I put it down on the table, and it's actually peeling itself apart. It was the battery, not quite exploding, but maybe in another day or so it would have. It was fine when I put it in my pocket a few hours earlier. Now, we were still technically paying for the phones at that time. They weren't paid off yet. Anyway, so it cost me, but even though they weren't paid for, it was out of warranty by 1 month. So it cost me $100 to get the battery replaced and the case put back together. Nothing broke. The glass didn't break. Nothing broke. Couldn't have been a month later, and it wasn't as bad, but the same thing happened to my wife's phone. We got both of ours at the same time. Well, both batteries decided to blow up after a little more than a year. And it was a Samsung phone. We talked to them, and they were like, yeah, it's out of warranty. Too bad. Anyway, good hearing everybody tonight. Good hearing everybody really good tonight. And let's see if this happens again. So I'll say 73 to all two that are out there. And I've been getting into MSOE Net the last few months since we had one of their guys give a program a few months back. And that's on Monday nights, and I mentioned the net last night, and a couple guys were like, oh, yeah, it sounds interesting. Anyway, 73 to all, and with that, give you just enough time to close it up there, Matt. This is WB9BWP.
All right, thank you, Dave. I did try looking for that device that I was talking about that NewTek made for making color pictures, and I cannot access it. My storage is in disarray down here, waiting for me to build my workbench. and I think I know what the name of it is, but I don't want to say it because I'm probably wrong, and if I get it wrong, that would be way off, way wrong. So, uh, Dave, I've kind of got the same thing here. My two TVs that we actually watch TV on are well, they started life as TVs, but now they are computer monitors, and there's a Raspberry Pi computer glued to the back, and they receive television over my home network. And maybe the tuner that you've got is sort of what I have. I've got a thing called the HD Home Run. It's got two tuners in it, and it just plugs into the network, and it sits in the attic closer to my antenna. And all it does is put two TV signals over the network where the TVs with the computers attached can pick that up. And that's of course what the third TV that I'm third and fourth actually TVs that I want to put Raspberry Pis in are going to work like. Except they are not computer monitors. Obviously, they're TVs and only TVs, so that would be a little bit different. And also, of course, they have vacuum tubes in them, so it'd be very, very different from the modern TVs. And I know what you mean with the phone battery. I've had a couple of devices here with the batteries that expanded to the point where the devices quit working because most likely the micro miniature solder joints in them all, the lead-free stuff all gave up, I suppose. Where you bend it in just a certain way and it sort of works for a while. So I know what you mean with that. And Frank, as far as those books, if you get to the point of throwing them in a dumpster, I will certainly take them off your hands if you get to that point. That kind of thing has always interested me. I've reading about that stuff when I was a kid, and it was very fascinating. Of course, I got to the point of working on a lot of TVs, and then the ATSC TV thing kind of put a great stop to all that, but never get bored of reading about that stuff, I guess. So anyway, we are at the end of the net here. I will say 7-3 to you guys and to Bratwurst and whoever else is watching. And we will, let's see, I'll read from the script here. This concludes the 2 a.m. net. Feel free to rag chew on this frequency after my transmission. We will meet again on the 11th of December. And then I have to update my calendar here because the 11th of December is the last day on my whiteboard, which shows where the next net will be. So until then, this is KC9UDX 7-3 and good night.
Okay, 7-3 guys, and good job as usual there, Matt. W9JCC clear.